You earn a paycheck, right? We all do. But how do you turn that income into actual, real wealth? Well, that magic happens in the gap between the money hitting your account and you spending it. And today, we're going to build the bridge across that gap. We're going to master your cash flow by giving every single dollar a job before you even get a chance to touch it. Let's get started.
Have you ever had this feeling? Payday comes, the money shows up in your account, and then poof, it just kind of evaporates. You know you paid some bills and bought some stuff, but where did the rest of it actually go? See, most people treat payday like a finish line, but if you want to build wealth, you have to see it as the starting line. It's go time. It's when your money gets its marching orders.
Okay, so how do we give our money those marching orders? We're going to use a really simple but crazy powerful framework, the 50-30-20 rule. Think of it like a quick checkup for your finances. It's a system that makes sure the life you're living today isn't secretly stealing from your future. It breaks down like this: 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and a super important 20% for the future you.
All right, first up, let's talk about the foundation of your entire financial life. This is your needs category. This part should take up no more than half, 50% of your after-tax income. And these are the absolute total non-negotiables.
And we need to be crystal clear on what a need is. A need isn't just something you really want. It's the stuff you absolutely have to survive and do your job. We're talking about the roof over your head, the lights and water, the basic groceries you cook at home, and the car or bus pass that gets you to work. That's it. Full stop.
Now, inside that 50% bucket, there is one number you have to watch like a hawk: housing. Lenders have a rule of thumb that says your housing costs shouldn't be more than 28% of your gross income. That's your pay before taxes. If you go over that, you are officially in the housing red zone. Your cash flow is basically under attack, and it makes it almost impossible for the rest of this plan to work.
And man, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? When your fixed costs are way too high, it's exactly like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. You can run as hard as you want, but that weight is just going to slow you down and wear you out. It makes finishing the race feel impossible.
So here's the secret. These costs aren't as fixed as they seem. You can absolutely fight back. You can negotiate your rent every single year. You can and should shop around for new car and home insurance rates every year. Loyalty is rarely rewarded here. In fact, it usually costs you money. Audit your bills. The key takeaway is that you have to actively manage these big costs, not just accept them.
Okay, foundation is solid. Now, let's get to the fun part. The next 30% is the fuel for your life. This is your wants category. And this is all about intentional, totally guilt-free spending that makes life awesome.
But listen, this is where so many people get tripped up. They mix up their needs and their wants. Groceries to cook at home? That's a need. Going out to restaurants? That's a want. A reliable car to get to your job? Need. A brand new luxury car with a huge payment? Total want. Look, if your life wouldn't fall apart without it, it's a want. Simple as that.
Now, this doesn't mean you have to live like a monk. Not at all. It's about spending with purpose. And this concept of money dials, you guys, this is an absolute game changer. It means you turn the dial way up and spend big on the things you truly, deeply love. Maybe that's travel or concerts. And at the same time, you turn the dial way down on things you couldn't care less about.
But you got to be careful here, because the wants category is where tiny, invisible leaks can totally sink your financial ship. You know, that gym membership you never use, that streaming service you forgot you even had. These little things feel harmless, but they can easily add up to thousands of wasted dollars every single year.
And that brings us to the most important part of the whole plan. The engine of your wealth-building machine, the final 20%. This money isn't for your landlord or your car or your favorite restaurant. No, this is your money. It belongs to future you.
And there's one golden rule for this money, and it is non-negotiable. You pay yourself first. This is not about saving whatever is left over at the end of the month. No way. This is the very first, most important bill you pay. The second that paycheck lands in your account, this 20% gets moved out automatically, before you can even think about it.
So where does this 20% go? Well, there's a very specific order to this, a battle plan. Step 1. You build a $1,000 starter emergency fund. I like to call it the oh crap fund. It's for when life happens. Step 2. You grow that into a full-blown emergency fund that can cover 3 to 6 months of your essential expenses. Once you're secure, step 3 is you go to war against any high-interest debt, anything over about 8%. And only then, once that's done, do you start automating your long-term investments.
Now, when you're attacking that debt, you've got two main strategies. The debt avalanche is where you target the debt with the highest interest rate first. Mathematically, this is the smartest move. It'll save you the most money. But then there's the debt snowball. That's where you pay off your smallest debt first, regardless of the interest rate. It gives you these quick, powerful psychological wins that build momentum. Honestly, both work. The best one is the one you'll actually stick with.
So, why are we doing all this? What's the point of all this work? It all comes down to this one idea, the crossover point. This is that beautiful, magical moment when the money your investments make is more than what you need to live on each month. That, right there, is the true definition of financial freedom.
Look, knowing the rules is great, but rules are useless without a system to back them up. The real key here is building a system that puts your success on autopilot. You want this whole thing to work for you while you're sleeping, without needing a ton of willpower every day.
A really bulletproof system has just a few key pieces. Number one is automation. Set up those automatic transfers for your 20% and just let it run. Number two, for investing, use low-cost index funds. You have to beware of fees. A seemingly tiny 1% fee can eat up more than a quarter of your potential earnings over a lifetime. It's huge. And finally, you gotta stay in the game. Look ahead at your year for big expenses and just do a quick 15-minute review of your cash flow every month to make sure you're on track.
And here's a massive warning for you. As you start to earn more money, you get a raise or a new job, the temptation is going to be to spend more money. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is a freedom killer. It's a trap. So when you get a raise, don't raise your lifestyle, raise your savings rate. Keep your percentages the same, and you will dramatically speed up your journey to that crossover point.
Okay, enough theory. It's time to put this into practice. Let's turn what we've learned into something you can actually do. This entire system kicks off with 3 really simple, concrete steps you can take, like right now.
So, just to recap the whole blueprint, it's all about directing your money with a purpose. 50% for the things you absolutely need, 30% to enjoy your life today without any guilt, and that non-negotiable 20% to build a secure and free future.
All right, here are your marching orders, your first 3 moves. First, I want you to go back and look at your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Categorize every single dollar you spend into needs, wants, or future you. You have to know where you're starting from. Second, log into your online banking right now and set up an automatic transfer for at least 10% of your paycheck to go into a separate savings account, starting on your very next payday. And third, find one of those invisible leaks, just one subscription you don't use, and cancel it today.
And I just want to leave you with this one last thought. We're not building this system just so you can buy more stuff or flashy things. We're building it for something way more valuable. See, true wealth isn't the car you drive or the house you live in. It's the quiet freedom to make your own choices. It's owning your own time. It's the freedom you don't even have to show off. Master your cash flow and you will own your future.